Happy Valentine's Day to all my Valentines out there. You guys are all my Valentines, but God is my ultimate Valentine above all things. And so that is why today we're doing a special tour of my room here. One of my rooms. And so this right here, Jesus on the rosary here, down the cross for us here sinners. And so Jesus, he's my fireworks, you guys. I would go to the moon and back for Jesus, and he just blows me away with these fireworks and the fires of the earth, just blowing us away, clearing our sins. And so, in honor of this Valentine's Day today, and in honor of Father Mike Schmitz and all the priests out there and the people, I'm going to be doing a Bible in a Year podcast here, Bible in a Year journey with me, if you guys would all like to follow along. So we have here, I like to start the morning off with some tea, some Sancha herbal and matcha tea from Costco here, some organic, non-GMO. So we have my bed here and part of my room here, some rosaries. I'll just give you guys a quick tour. Ignore that. That's Andre's, my brother's. He should have took that to him at Texas. That should be #1 God's fan or #1 Jesus fan instead of, #1 Jayok. But, ignore that for now, you guys. And so, anyways, so we have here. So what I like to do is, this is my bed here. And so I like to make it symbolic. And so, as you can imagine, this is like, for me, this is like why I did this is because this blanket here, why I chose this, is that this kind of, in a way, symbolizes like the Garden of Eve. It was so pure at the time of Adam and Eve. And so, free from sin, free from conception, the perfect, when God created the world in the Garden of Adam and Eve, it was so pure and perfect, with Adam and Eve and, free from sin. And this was like the heaven on earth, basically the heaven on earth, free from paradise. And so, but now, since Adam, and Eve, they ate the forbidden fruit. Now we have sin, the knowledge of goodness and truth. We have good to do good, and then the knowledge to do evilness. And so that is why I did this. And as I open this bed, and so this is like, I like to do this. This is my bed frame here. It's kind of symbolizes the church, when we go to church, the iron gates, the iron doors, because the church, the saints like to call it the heaven on earth. And so that's why I tried to make like a church-like bed here. And so, symbolizing bed. And so we have here also the, like the church, I like to do like these iron, gates, because it's like kind of leading toward the gates of heaven, even though I'm just like a sinful bastard here, standing or sleeping outside of these gates. But Jesus inside the church here, he's inside the church, he's inside all of our life. And that's what the saints like to call the heaven on earth is inside the church, you guys. So that's why I like to spend most of my time in the daily mass and at the churches. And so when I'm not here at the churches, I like to kind of make my bed, and my room's kind of like a church, church-like in a way, I should say. And so that is why we have this here, blessed by Father Carney, my third favorite priest of all time, my demon-slaying priest. He loves, he gave me a half exorcism last time at Exorcist. I want him to give me the whole thing. I don't like to have him leaving me on a string like that. He likes to leave me in mystery and suspense. And so he gave me this blessed, as you guys can see, to slay the demons as I sleep at night. That's Father Carney's rosary he gave me present. And so I like to hang this up on my bed I hang the nails here of the cross as Jesus, was hanged on the cross with the nails. As you can see, all the 4 nails, how I hung this on the side. And so that is why, so we are basically inside the church, that's the heaven gates. Inside heaven, you opened up those iron gates, because those doors, like at the Blessed Sacrament or the Magna, at the cathedral, they, in the Wichita downtown, the cathedral downtown, they're those iron, heavy, thick doors, like 100 pounds, you guys. Like, it's so heavy, or 200 or 1,000. I don't know how heavy they're, but they're so heavy is because they're supposed to be blocking away towards the evils and the sins of the world. And then once you enter into that sanctuary, that is basically the physical heaven on earth, is what the saints like to call. Inside the church, you guys, is the heaven on. It's the real deal, you guys. And so that's why, you know, I wanted to do this as well, in honor of all you guys for Valentine's, in honor for Jesus and God, to do this on Valentine's Day, because he's our ultimate Valentine. And so what we have here, and then I also like to do this because, you know, that's where you found life, was when the dove, you know, on Noah's Ark, they did the, with the, forget what they call this, but you guys know what I'm talking about. The new life, the olive branches, or whatever they call the olive, yeah, the petals and the roses here. You know, just for, I like to do that. And so, anyways, so what we have here, as I open my bed here, we have the Bible. Oh my goodness, we have the Bible there, sleeping with me. You know, we don't want no man or woman or child. You know, we want the Bible. First thing we do when we, you know, wake up or when we sleep at night. My favorite part of being a child was my dad, you know, reading me Bible stories every time at night, and then in the morning sometimes, and at nights. And so that is why we're going to be reading the Bible today. Bible in the year. This is day 1 in our Bible of the year. And so that is why, you know, we're going to be like soldiers of Christ. You know, I'm going to start reading this here. We're going to read 4 pages a day. And in the course of a year, we're going to complete my Bible here. This is my favorite Bible. My dad gave it to me when I was in the summer of my 20s. I wanted to read the Bible. And so my dad gifted this to me. He said, yeah, you can borrow this. You can use this Bible, Lexi. And so that is why I read it. And so this Bible here is my personal favorite. I read this entire Bible from start to finish as it was meant to be written. You know, because Father Mike Schmitz, I love Father Mike Schmitz, but he kind of does it, you know, all over the place. So that's why I wanted to kind of do it the way it was meant to be written, from page 1, Genesis, all the way to the last page of Exodus, not skipping all the way to last page. You know, Genesis, then Exodus, then Leviticus, Numbers, Deuteronomy, all the way to Revelation, not skipping a single page. And so that is why we are going to be doing a Bible read through from start to finish, as it was meant to be, you know, as God portrayed, you know, as God, you know, called the saints and all that to recollect in his words to do the Bible. And so as it was meant to be written from, you know, and how it was meant from page 1 all the way to the last page in the Bible. From start to finish. Not like, you know, New Testament, then some books here, St. Peter, St. Paul, then you go back to the Old Testament, back to, no. We just want to do it all the way as a book was meant to be written from start to finish, as this, you know, because the Old Testament, if you don't read the Old Testament from start, and then you go to the New Testament, you just go all over the place, then it's kind of, you know, it's kind of, in a way, it's kind of a little wishy-washy, and it's not, like, especially for your first Bible read-through, I like to, you know, encourage people to do it, like, you know, all the way, the hardcore way, because even if it's going to be painful, you guys, I promise it's going to be a beautiful journey. And so because my dad always liked to tell me, obvious suffering, Alexi, is a hidden treasure. Obvious reward is a hidden punishment. And so that is why we like to, my dad's from Damascus, Syria. He's a Melkite Catholic. He also baptized me, a Melkite Catholic, at the WCU, St. Paul Newman University. So I'm Melkite Catholic. And my mom, she immigrated, and she is actually Russian Orthodox, and then she converted to Roman Catholic here, or I don't know if she converted, or she's still Russian Orthodox. I still haven't asked her yet. You know, I'm, you know, 25 years old. But anyways, you know, I don't like to, you know, deal with these family secrets, and, you know, I like to kind of, you know, read the Bible and do the same, go to the church and do my own thing. And so, and, you know, I try to encourage my parents and all that to do my own, even though they are divorced. I still, you know, I brought my mom to the church at the Blessed Sacrament. She saw it for the first time. I tried to unite them, even though they are, you know, because, you know, in the Bible, it said that, you know, we can't be having, you know, the Old Testament, the Moses, it said we can't be having divorce. Perfect creation, God created Adam and Eve for each other. Adam, the perfect Adam for the perfect Eve, perfect man for perfect woman. The two become one, bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh, and the two shall become one body, one flesh, forever, for eternity, for the kingdom, for the purpose to go to heaven. And so That's why, and with the divorce and the separation of children and the child neglect and all this, it's not what God originally intended the creation of, man and woman to be, and especially in the marriage. And so that's why in the Bible, Father Luke last Sunday at the 9 a.m., he was powerful. And so he was like, yeah, God originally said that, thou shalt not divorce. It's a sin to divorce in the old, commit adultery with your wives or look at other women lustfully while you're in. And so that's why he was like, and then, yeah, Jesus, he said that, yeah, later after the people couldn't handle this pure, with God's commandment, with the divorce, the perfect union, the intention of marriage, so then Jesus allowed God allowed the bill of divorce because the people couldn't handle how, to not divorce their wife and stuff like this. So they granted a bill of divorce. But then Father Luke was like last night, he's like, but in the past, it wasn't so, because originally it should have been, and I still believe it to be that the original, it should be that the bill, there shouldn't have been, I shouldn't have even granted you the bill of divorce, God. Like he was saying that the original, the best way in life to go about it is to not even divorce your wife in the first. There shouldn't have been a bill of divorce in the first if you guys were so pure and free from sin, perfect confession, perfect conception, free from sin. And so, but unfortunately we ate the forbidden fruit, the knowledge of good and evil. And so that is why sometimes there's this, the Satan on one shoulder and the good evil angel on the other, the good conscience versus the bad conscience. And so, unfortunately people, they started listening to Satan, the evil spirits within, instead of slaying their demons, like with an exorcist priest or in the confessional. And so, and listening to God directly, praying to God direct, not to fall, because we're always going to have that, devil and God within, but we need to always do the God, because it is wide. Wide is the road to destruction, but so many people live this wide path, and narrow is the gate to heaven. Narrow is the hard. It's so narrow. It's so thin, and maybe 1% of people go there, or who knows how many people. It's so few, and it's like we need to be living that narrow path instead of the wide path. At least it's so easy to listen to say and do the bad things, divorce your wives, and all this and that. Do the children, and so that's why we're going to be doing this Bible in a year, as so clear and beautifully. And I'm going to have, I would love to have Father Seth Arnold and some other priests here as well, clarify, because I'm just going to be reading, and I do apologize if I do make mistakes. I come from a foreign immigrant family that they immigrated from Syria, and my mom from Russia, actually Ukraine, but now Crimea converted to Russia, so now it's Russia, and so some Ukrainian/Russian. But anyways, so the and we were going to do this Bible right here, right now, first thing in the morning before I go to work here. And so it should only take like 30 minutes or so, or 10 minutes, 5 minutes. And so 4 pages, I'm going to be making mistake. Maybe because my English is not the best, coming from, parents that their English wasn't the best. It was, my dad knows Arabic. My mom speaks Ukrainian and Russian fluently, and English is their third and second, native languages. My dad knows a little French too. And so we're going to be doing this here Bible, and at the end I'm going to reveal this Bible. But this is my favorite Bible. I like to peer. This Bible captivated my heart because it's like so white, free from sin, with the gold markings. And at the end I'm going to be revealing what Bible I'm going to be reading to you guys. But this is my favorite of all time, because like I said, this is the Bible I read from start to finish the first time, and not skipping a single word. And so that is why, and that's why I like, because it's like, why, in the summer of my 21st, 22nd, that's when I started really reading this thing hardcore. And I read this thing entirely, and I was like, why would I be like everyone else? Not reading, my age, 21, I could have gone to the bar. My mom took me to that, Las Vegas, aka like they call it the Sin City, and, I saw all this prostitution and on the streets, and the greed and the casinos and the gambling and the, and so I was like, what is going on here? Like, I need to get my life back together before, I could be, leaving this wide path that leads to evilness and leads me to going to hell. So it's like, I need to get my path back right, going to heaven, going to the confessional, doing this thing purely. And so that's why I started reading the Bible at my 21st birthday. Because like, why would I be my age? My age people, they go to the bar, like when I was 21 at the time, for my 21st birthday, they, go to the bars, drink, in their 21s, parties, do all this. I saw the, beach swimsuit parties. It is fun, it was I want to do, but it was like, man, I want to do the Bible even more and God's love even more. And so that's why I decided to read in my entire 20, and I completed in that summer of my 21st birthday, or 22nd, and it was like, I completed in about 3 to 4 months nonstop. I would read like 8, 12 hours a day. This Bible here, it's almost like 2,000 pages long. So yeah, it was pretty, and I kind of read really slow because I just like really reading slow, and like I said, my English is not that good, so I have to look up some of the words sometimes if I don't understand the meanings. And so, because I come from a, non-speaking English first home, because I'm first generation, my parents, they immigrated from here, so I'm a first generation American here, born in the United States, here in Wichita, Kansas. And so, all my life, and so we are going to be starting now. And at the end, I'm going to be revealing what version of this Bible, what Bible I am reading here, the version and everything, at the very end of this. In a year, we're going to complete this on Valentine's Day again next year. So every day, if you listen to, or if you want to read along, we'll be completing this on next Valentine's Day, which is going to be the perfect present for God, our Father, our loving Father, our perfect Dad. So for all the singles out on Valentine's, this is for all you guys, all the singles, non-singles, married people, people with children. I'm devoting this to you guys. This is for all the people of the earth. This is for all even the non-believers, the non-Catholics, the non-Orthodox, the non-Christians, the non-Protestants, the Buddhists, the Hindus, all the people, the atheists, the all of them, every single person, the Catholics, the Orthodox, the Methodists, the Lutherans, the evangelicals, everyone, the non-denominationals, Christians, this is all for you guys, and all the, atheists and the non-believers and the Satanists and the pagan worshippers. This is all for you guys. Because this is important. We should all be reading and learning from the Bible, because this is the wisdom of truth. Like what I like to teach, when I have kids, the future kids, or if I become a priest, or if I do both, Orthodox or technically, sometimes the cat, I'd have to get exception from the Pope or something, to marry and have children. Or if I do, maybe the priesthood's my route to do in life, to not marry and become a priest. So that's why it is important to read the Bible in this journey, the journey of all of our lives. Because I like to teach people is that when I was doing the Cairo missions with Jose and Caleb and Amy Fitzpatrick and all of them, we were doing we were teaching these impoverished children that they didn't have really good Catholic role models in their life. And so I was basically like a leader of that, teaching. I took the high schoolers from like Northwest High School or North High School, something like that, a high school in Wichita, Kansas. And so Spanish and English speaking students. And so I basically led them through their Bible, the proper way, the best that I could. I probably made a little here and there errors, but I tried my best, which is what, God, I think he loved me to do. And so even though we are sinners and fall short, but I tried to do my best with these kids, teaching them about the faith, the Christian faith and way of life. And so the number one goal I tried to get with them is that, as Christians, our number one goal in life, before we marry, before all this, the number one bucket list for Christians or Catholics or Orthodox Christians to do in life is to read the Bible all the way, completely. And so, because the Bible, I like to tell the Cairo missions, those high schoolers, I like to tell the kids that I was training, that, to be soldiers of Christ, soldiers, you guys, soldiers. And so, like this camo, the Army, Navy, soldiers of Christ, military soldiers of God. And so like a Saint Joan of Arc going into battle on the horse, like a chariot, like a soldier, soldier in the battle for Christ. And so, and God. And so I was teaching them about the Bible, and that should be on all Catholics' #1 bucket list. Before you marry and all this, it's going to lead you to so much more pure without sin if you do read the Bible before marriage, because the Bible, I like to tell them, is the instruction booklet to life. It has so much wisdom in there, so much truth. And so it's all truth, in my opinion. And so all fullness and truth, it's the way, the truth, and the life. Jesus is the truth, the way, and the life. So it's like, it's so pure and goodness. It's poetic. It has, you know, some similes, metaphors now, but it's all truth. You know, you just got to look at it as the truth and goodness of like why his love poured out for us. So poetic, so truthful, so knowledgeable. So, and so that is why he gave us this wisdom, God, to be reading it. And so, blessed by the, God and Jesus the Father. And so that is why, God, the Father, and Jesus the Son, God sent out his one and only begotten Son, that whosoever believes in him shall not perish, but will have everlasting life, Jesus. So that's why we believe in Jesus. And whether, Orthodox, they believe that Jesus and God is separate. Catholics, they believe Jesus, God are one. So, the Bible doesn't, but whichever way you guys want to do it, it's fine, in my opinion. I see miracles in the Orthodox Church. I've prayed to, about the Orthodox saints. They perform miracles. I've seen miracles in my life happen with them. I've seen miracles in the Catholic Church happen. So, and, we watch movies about, and I've heard people in the Protestant Church and Lutheran Church, and I've seen it, witnessed miracles. Protestants, they can do them. Even non-Catholics and atheists, they pray in their hospitals for their God to heal their sick relatives, and they, survive the cancer patients, even though the doctor said they're going to die. But, once they pray to God, these Buddhists or Hindus or non-Protestant or Catholics or Protestants, even the Protestant, and God, he performs miracles, all denominations, not just for the Catholics, you guys, or not just for the Orthodox, but for everyone. Everyone, they have the ability, as long as they pray to God with all their heart and all their might, God will intervene in their lives to perform miracles. And so that's why all faiths, God is with all faiths, whether you're Christian, Buddhist, atheists, non-faith. God's going to reveal himself to you guys, even if you're not, Christian. So that is why it's important to read the Bible. And we're going to be reading this first thing here in the morning. And so, because this is for all you guys, I want to do, the Bible was teaching those high school kids is that all the Bible is the instruction booklet to life. So my favorite book in the Bible, it is the first 4 books, is my favorite. Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus. Those are my 3 favorite books. But then the 4th favorite after that would be the book of Sirach for me, because Sirach, and then the book of Psalms after that, because Sirach, and even the entire Bible itself is, but especially Sirach I like to call it the instruction booklet to life, the Bible. So you can't, it's like you can't not be reading. You can't not, you guys. And so in Sirach, it teaches us how to become good husbands, good fathers, good wives, how to raise your children, how to raise your wife, how to raise your husband, how to, and stuff like that. So, to be pure with your husband, pure with your wife, pure with your children. And so the way God wanted you to and intended you for his perfect creation, us as the children of God. And so that is why, and even in the book of Genesis and all that, it's not, but Sirach, the book of Sirach is so powerful in my opinion. And so is the book of Psalms, King David's Song of Psalms. And so we're just going to be reading this entire thing, you guys. I love all the books in the Bible. Some a little bit more than others, but that's okay. We all have favorites, just like some of us have, more favorite priests, more favorite saints, more favorite books of the Bible. It's okay to have favorites, you guys. And so in life. And so that is why we're going to be reading the Bible today. And this is for all you guys, because I want to sacrifice myself and my time on this Valentine's Day, because that's what we need to do in this world. Sacrifice for the love of God and the love of people, love of man. Love thy neighbor as thyself. Love thyself as thy neighbor. And if you truly love yourself with all your heart, you wouldn't kill yourself, because that leads to hell, suicide and all this, you guys. And so that is why if we love ourselves with all our heart, we would be loving our neighbors too, inviting them into our homes, being peace, fraternal with them, sharing them, loving them, all, not excluding them to go to church, because that's not what Christ would do. Christ always loved everyone, not excluding him from his church, from him himself. He even let others persecute, kill him. You know, just like the St. Paul, St. Peter, you know, they went to the cells, the prison, and would preach and would spread the good news to these, preaching, aka spreading the good news of God to the prisoners, you know, and that's how Jesus converted the St. Dismas, the, you know, the good thief, the guy who died on the cross, because he believed in him with all his heart and all his love. And so he's like, you will enter into me, into the kingdom of heaven, you good thief, even though you commit all these, you know, killings and, you know, all the commandments you broke. But even the prisoners, they need us. That's why I do the prison ministry too. I love doing it at El Dorado Correctional Facility here in Kansas, because it touches because that's what Jesus, you guys, did. That's what St. Paul, St. Peter, if you read the saints' recollections, they preached inside the prison cells too, you guys. And so we need to be doing that too as well, especially because they are the lost souls, and we have to save these lost souls to point them towards the path of God and the kingdom of heaven. We don't want them to go to hell, you guys, even if they're in the prison. And so that is why I do that. And yeah, but we are going to be reading the Bible very shortly here, very, very shortly. I know you guys are excited and want to go along this journey with us. And so we are, so I just want to do this, you know, special shout out to all of you guys, all of the single mamas, single baby daddies out there, single, you know, divorced people, all the sinners, all the atheists, pagans, all the non-believers, all the Christians, all the Catholics, all the Orthodox, all the Lutherans, all the Protestants, all the non-denominations I forgot to mention about, all the Christian denominations, all the birds of this, all the people will be able to listen to this as you play it in the background, the crickets, the animals of this world, you know, the reptilians, everything. I want to do this Bible because I want to shout to the heavens all the joys, all the spiders here in my room that's going to be listening to me doing this, if they have ear, that they can hear all the creatures of God that he created on this world. I'm going to be reading this Bible for all you guys, sacrificing my life, my day in this year, all the time that I do and devote to this Bible. However long it takes, we're going to be doing this, you guys. And so this is for you. And so today we're going to be reading Genesis, page 1, chapter 1, verse 1 here. Genesis chapter 1. Here we go. Let's do this. And so, first story of creation. Primeval History, chapter 1, Genesis 1. First story of creation. In the beginning, let me see, where is it? In the beginning,